have to talk about college kids. Yes, you saw the thumbnail and you thought to yourself, oh, goody, we're going to talk about Alex Stein. We're going to talk about him too. And of course, we're going to talk about the trolling techniques that, quite frankly, work. But then again, though, we're also going to talk about some other things too. So make sure you guys stick around because obviously this video is about social justice warriors. And of course, it's also about college kids in general. Now, guys, before we start this video, I want to let you guys know right away that I have, of course, been to a university, okay? I don't like to kind of bring it up because people think if you bring up your education, you might sound a little bit smug, okay? I don't try to sound completely like, let's just say intellectual in these videos because, quite frankly, I am not an intellectual. I've always considered myself to be more of a working class kind of guy, you know, veteran, worked a lot of odd jobs, worked a lot of retail, worked a little bit of construction. Not much, but obviously that type of stuff there. And of course, the education is really just to prove to people that I'm not, how would you say, dumb. However, I do understand the intellectual arguments, even though I don't really like to partake in them. However, the thing is this right here. Most of the world's issues are common sense. And of course, you've probably heard by now that Alex Stein went to Penn State and got spit on by a young girl. Don't worry, we'll play that here in a second. And my response to you is, this right here is what happens when you leave a child to themselves. You see, a child will begin to do very, very stupid, very, very dumb things. And of course, by that, I'm also primarily talking about suburban white kids. Now, let's go ahead and roll this, and let's talk about it afterwards.
You are the reason that you fascist! You are the fucking reason we're all here today!
Thank you for coming. Thank y'all for buying tickets. Oh, I love you. I love you. I think you're a really nice woman. She's spit on me! Hey, luckily I like that fetish. She does. That turns me on. Now she turned me on. How
You see a lot of FUs. You see a lot of, let's just say you saw the spit. And you probably think to yourself, ooh, God, that right there was just absolutely nasty. It's disgusting. Ugh. Good God. Good grief. By the way, guys, the video that I have planned tomorrow will be out tomorrow. It was supposed to come out today, but I'm going to move that forward. But back on topic. The thing is this right here. College kids have gotten to the point to where they don't really have any respect for anyone anymore. And I know somebody's going to come in here and say, Alex Stein was prodding them. Don't worry. We'll talk about Alex here in a second because there's a good enough amount of stuff to actually work with, and we'll talk about him shortly. But the thing is this right here. This right here is what happens when you create a woke, entitled society. You get people, young people, who quite frankly think they can do whatever they want. Obviously, you would expect some level of restraint. And like I said before, don't worry, we'll get to Stein here soon. But the thing is this right here. You would expect people to act a better way going forward in life. If you learn these bad habits when you were young, it's probably going to take a little while longer for you to actually break these bad habits. You see, her spitting on Alex Stein is a result of suburban entitlement. She was probably raised as a suburban kid, suburban white kid. Going to Penn State, she may be from the state of, I don't know, Pennsylvania, possibly New York, probably somewhere a little bit further. By the way, I'm not making this video to go after Northerners. That's what I'm doing. It's not what I'm doing. I have a lot of friends who, quite frankly, are guys I serve with and people that I know they're actually from North and those who have moved down here. So this video right here is not about that. This video is about the suburban white kids. By the way, suburban voters, suburban everything, that'll be kind of the theme for tomorrow's video, which, by the way, was supposed to be released today. But the thing is this right here. What do you expect these people to do when you go to these woke indoctrination camps? What do you think you expect these people to do when you go to these woke indoctrination centers? They didn't get discipline at home, and chances are they haven't faced any discipline while they're actually at the college. By the way, those college kids tend to look like the typical normal liberals that are actually being produced. You know, the ones who decide, what is it? The ones who want Roe v. Wade, you know, the ones who want abortion, you know, they're not the good looking girls. They're the how do I say they're the ones who are less put together. They are the girls who, quite frankly, are not attractive at all. They're the girls that know that all they gotta do is just kind of throw it out, and some dumbass guy will probably jump because the guy has no actual self-worth or any actual self-esteem. This right here is a result of very, very, very bad parenting. You see, Alex Stein is a troll, okay? That's what he is. It's what he does. As a matter of fact, my Twitter profile, for the most part, is, guess what? A shit posting thing. I mostly troll people. Of course, liberals, they react very, very hostily because they don't know any other way to do it. They take everything a little bit too serious. As a matter of fact, they've helped to kill comedy, and of course, as you guys can see, they don't exactly know how to handle trolls. Now, guys, right-wing trolls, they know how to actually troll people. They know how to actually get an actual reaction because they typically tend to make fun of the issue itself, or they typically tend to make fun of the person, is what I meant to say, for acting too serious about an issue. Where liberals, on the other hand, they kind of like, how do I say that they're rather frigid. So therefore, when they respond to something like a troll, they have a tendency to go a little bit too far. Now, guys, let me throw something at you really quick. Let's say you're a man. Okay, and I want you to ask yourself a question. By the way, this right here is pointed mostly at men, but women, you guys can play along as well. I want to throw this at you. What is the most offensive thing somebody can do to you? An insult? Okay. Somebody insults me, chances are I'm probably going to return the insult. Or if it's a very, very stupid insult, I'm probably going to walk away. Or just walk right on by it. If somebody, however, says something about my mom, or somebody says something that's very, very hurtful to me, I more than likely may react with a right hand. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys can probably respond. I mean, I'm not some badass or anything. However, if someone spits on you, spitting on somebody usually results in one or two things. The person getting spit on, normally, and I mean the person who normally gets spit on, they normally don't respond because they normally don't know how to respond, or they may respond with a right hand right away, meaning that they immediately kick the person's ass. You see, this girl right here, she spit on Alex Stein because she knew she could do that. She already had that very, very entitled sense about her, the suburbanness, and of course the whole woke ideology coming from a woke indoctrination camp. Not to mention the fact that she knows she's a girl, and she knows that Alex Stein more than likely will probably not do that. I know you probably saw that. You thought to yourself, wow, that right there was just a good old-fashioned reaction. No. That girl right there knew 100% what the hell she was doing, and quite frankly, she did not care because she knew that she was going to get away with it. The biggest problem with these woke indoctrination places, and don't worry, we're going to talk about Alex Stein right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you guys probably thought to yourself, that right there sounded like a little bit of a rant the first half of the video, but I got to talk about this because I have spoken about Alex Stein before. Right around the time that Alex Stein and Cassidy Campbell came around to troll these, educational meetings, these town halls, I thought it was actually hilarious, and still to a certain degree, I do think it is funny. However, and by the way, I am okay with trolling because I myself troll people, especially online. I like to get a reaction too. I also don't have a problem telling somebody to their face how I feel, but at the same time, though, this is starting to get a little bit old. Let me explain what I mean. And I know that the Alex Stein fans are going to come into the actual comment section because guess what? He does have an actual rabid fan base. And of course, they can't be reasoned with online. If you say anything negative to Alex, they will go right after you like crazy. It's almost like saying something negative about any one of the progressive leaders. Okay, and there's even some conservatives that, quite frankly, you can't speak ill about online either before their fan base completely turns on you. But the thing you have to understand is this right here. I made a video a while back on Alex Stein, of course, talking about the issue with Dan Crenshaw. And by the way, you guys know me. I don't like Dan Crenshaw. I don't like any politician who's okay with red flag laws, who's okay with anything like TAPSAC, which, by the way, is basically Minority Report. You guys know me. I don't have to rehash that. But the thing that you have to understand is this right here. You have to ask yourself a question. When are you going too far? Alex Stein, of course, has gotten famous off this. Now, Alex Stein, by the way, is a former comedian. I've seen some of his stand-up comedy. It is on YouTube. He's not funny. I'm not saying this to insult Alex Stein. I'm just telling you. I mean, maybe it's just his comedy is different than mine. I personally tend to lean towards guys like, say, Eddie Murphy or Kevin Hart stand-up. I actually tend to like that type of comedy. Stein is not a funny guy, in my opinion. He never really was. I mean, even his town halls, they were not as funny as Cassidy Campbell's. I thought Cassidy Campbell was better at this, which makes me wonder, is Alex Stein going to one day go to the wrong place? Now, guys, I talked about woke entitlement. I told you guys before that a lot of the reasons why the wokes are doing this is because the wokes can actually get away with it. What if Alex Stein screws up one day and goes to an area and decides to troll the wrong people, okay? I want you to think about this, okay? It was hilarious to watch him troll AOC, okay? It was hilarious to watch him doing that. And we'll get back to Crenshaw here in a second. When he trolled Dan Crenshaw, which, by the way, I mean, like I said, I don't like Dan Crenshaw. He happened to also then turn right back around and say that veteran sacrifice was basically for nothing. I'll leave the video in the description box for you guys. I didn't like that because this is obviously a guy who never served, never did a day in the military, and he probably wouldn't serve to save his life. I'm going ahead and calling it now. Alex Stein is 6'4". He does this crap because he knows somebody's probably not going to beat his ass, and while at the same time it may seem hilarious and funny, it also gets old very, very quickly. Okay, he goes to Washington, D.C., trolls the AOC. Funny, hilarious, that's great. But he also knows that more than likely nothing's going to happen to him as a result of this because everybody thinks AOC is a loon anyways. So who the hell listens to her with any type of common sense, even police officers, Capitol police officers. Okay? He trolls Dan Crenshaw. Of course, he decides to do this in front of the Wounded Warrior Project. And, of course, he knows right off the bat that people are probably not going to do anything. I actually thought that even though I don't like Crenshaw, I actually thought that they showed a lot of restraint in letting him do what the hell he did. I'm a little bit curious of why it was he was allowed to go to Penn State and do this as well. Now, like I said, it's always great to troll liberals, but after a while, this crap right here begins to get old. So what I'll say to you is this right here. There are other ways of actually doing it, but Alex, at some point in time, you're going to run to the wrong group of people. And guess what? They may do something more than just spit on you. Now, guys, you think to yourself, you're a very, very tribal guy. No, I think I'm a very, very rational human being, and I'm here to tell you exactly what would happen as a result of somebody being stupid. And while funny from time to time, it's also kind of stupid, and quite frankly, it gets kind of old, and it also makes some of us look bad. I don't care if I piss off the Alex Stein 99 fans. I don't care if I piss them off at all. If you can't see that this right here is also a bit of a grift, I don't know what the hell to tell you. We'll be doing more videos on that in the future. My video on DeSantis will be out, or the GOP, the Trojan horse or whatever. We're asking the question if there's a Trojan horse in the GOP. That video will be out tomorrow. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, share the video, sign off in the comment section. See you guys later.